This Week 5 preview and picks edition of the Big 12 College Experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without stress. Use the promo code CFBX on your first purchase. Save $20. Download the Game Time app and use the promo code CFBX. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college NFL. Win 20 times in just one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit up to $500. We're also brought to you by VSiN. Sign up now and save 40% off with their football season package. Use the promo code SGP. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code SGP. Finally, but not least, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for player props, parlays, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app and get over there. HOFBets.com. Use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And welcome, everybody, back to the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Hey, man, Week 5's here. We're ready to pick some fucking games. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And Rambling Rush is not here. He is out in Viva Las Vegas for his bachelor party. So joining me, and not in the third man in the box, he's in the 2-hole tonight, the Big 12 guru. He's got family. Civil War's going everywhere. Stillwater, Norman, Waco, Fort Worth. He's everywhere in the Big 12 seed spread in Orlando and Cincinnati. He is the Big 12 guru, like I said. Troy Chewning, what is going on, man? Let's pick some games. Week 5's here.
Yeah, how I wonder if from the ad read to now, if that Cincinnati BYU line has changed again. I mean, I'm just trying to write down the games and the lines for a 45-minute, maybe an hour-long show, and the line's changing right in front of my freaking face, even from when we recorded on Tuesday. This thing is crazy.
Yeah, and full disclosure, we are pre-recording this the night before, so this will air Thursday night at our usual time, 6 o'clock. So if the line moves once again, we're doing the best we can. Like you said, last night, Tuesday night, when we filmed this, BYU was laying 1.5, and then it flipped over after the show is done. As of right now, we don't know who is injured. It may be Kedon Slovis. I mean, whenever you see 5 points of line movement, you kind of got to look at the quarterback position.
That's not a defensive lineman that's moving the line 5 points or anything like that, right? Like a cornerback is out. You'd expect to see the line move a point, maybe a 1.5 points if it's, Travis Hunter or something like that. But 5 points, you got to think something's up. It's sticky.
It definitely reeks because Cincinnati should not be favored at BYU. So something is up in the air. So beware with that game. Maybe stay away now with the way the line is. But if it is Slovis and the backup quarterback is on the dock, I mean, we've seen so many times where a backup quarterback can go win one game. We saw with Utah. I mean, Utah is still undefeated with their backup quarterback, especially when the big unknown when you don't know who the quarterback is in preparation. So I'm still going to stick with BYU. We're going to get into that game. But, I mean, does the line movement scare you a lot?
I mean, because there's no injury reports in college and you can pull the camera and have Kedon Slovis go out there and throw 35 warm-up passes and then sit him down on the bench. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. But there are some things about that game. Maybe we'll dive into it later. Yeah, but man, Rush said something about that big Latter-day Saints conference they got where everybody's going to be in town. The reason why it's on a Friday night, is it something like they know Kedon's trying to bang on a Friday and then they're going to catch him with everybody in town or something like that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe they're maybe this is the old Davies from the BYU run got a little mud on his turtle. Next thing you know, he's suspended for the year. So remember that shit when they suspended Davies for having sex?
I was gonna say
in
maybe
March Madness.
You think Kedon found another girl on the soccer team or something like that?
Hey, maybe he falls in love very easily. Goes from USC to the filthy school in Pitt. I mean, Kedon, no chick is worth going to Pitt. That place is a dump. I mean, you don't want to go to that stupid university. Eat shit, Pitt. Let's dive into the Friday night game. We teased it long enough. The Cincinnati Bearcats 0-1 in the league play. So are the BYU Cougars. This is the BYU opener in Provo. We talked about elevation. Cincinnati flipped. BYU opened as a 2.5-point favorite. Flipped 5 points. Stay tuned. Check the injury report, even though there is no injury report in college football. Over under 48.5. Weather doesn't seem to be a big issue. So, I mean, we're forecasting that it's going to be an injury related. I'm still going to take BYU, man. I'm going to dive into the stink. Dive into the Courtney Love stink here. So, give me the Cougars. What about you, Troy?
I remember last night I said this was kind of an easy one to take, Cincinnati with the points. So maybe that's kind of why the line flipped. Maybe it really was wrong team favored by a little bit, but I would never have expected it to go back. Maybe a point in Cincy's favor or something like that. But to get all the way to 2.5, I think the biggest thing that signals to me is it's going to be a slugfest, and maybe you want to look at this under more than anything else. Especially if it's an injury-related thing, and right before the game starts, they announce something like Kedon Slovis isn't playing. And we kind of dunk on Kedon Slovis as much as we can, but last week he was making some baller throws, and he looked pretty good, and that would be a big hit. I mean, I know you're only going up against Emory Jones, and Emory Jones on the road, but I think I'm still going to go with BYU as well. It's still in Provo. I mean, a backup quarterback can win one game against Emory Jones, right? Like what? Let me pose this question to you. Would you rather have the known or the unknown between Emory Jones on the road or a backup that you know nothing about? I would almost take the second option.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm getting with Emory Jones. He's terrible. I think Cincinnati does have the advantage in the trenches. We talked about how good they are on the defensive line front. I mean, especially with our big guy Dante Corleone. I mean, he's good. The other guy that's really good on that front is Van. The big fellas up front, Malik Van. I mean, they're old and experienced on the front, but man, I think they're going to be sucking wind still in Provo in the altitude, don't you?
It does seem like that could be one of the bigger factors, just the elevation and whatnot, because they did a pretty good job, even with a couple of short fields against Oklahoma, to keep that game what it was instead of letting Oklahoma blow you out and get to that 38 or 40 point mark or something. I thought that the defense for Cincinnati was pretty good, which is, I don't know. This one is just super duper stinky. 5-point flip. I don't even know if Kedon Slovis alone would make sense for a 5-point flip. Like once you think about it.
No. That's why I'm like, this is too inflated now. Give me BYU. I also think BYU's defense is underrated. They did a good job with Sam Houston. I mean, the turnovers is what killed them last week. They outgained Kansas in yardage, had more first downs, but they lost the turnover battle by 3. So that's why they ended up not coming away with the victory there in Lawrence. Yeah, man, I'm sticking with BYU.
And their offense, their offense isn't going to have to do as much against Cincinnati as what was asked to do against Kansas. So, you might even be able to slow that game down and give your defense a couple more breathers, even if it is, hey, we are kind of around midfield. We're going to run the ball on first and second down. And if we don't pick this third down up, we need to, give our defense an extra minute and a half here. Mm-hmm. You can kind of do that against Cincinnati, whereas you do that against Kansas and you give up 7 points. Now you're catch up all day. So, I don't know. This one just seems like a stupid slugfest that Cincinnati runs out of gas and BYU covers this. They
win by field goal.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the original 2.5 might have been the original, like the correct line, and they win by 3.
Yep, I agree. All right, Rush is on BYU. He sent his picks into us. Let's flip the coin. Kennedy's on Cincinnati. So
Elizabeth Warren's on
go.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren. All right.
It's a Sacagawea coin. You guys get it?
There you go. Yes. That's great. All right, we'll dive into the Saturday games on the other side. But first, we got to talk about game time. Because if you're looking to go to Provo and get down on that game and go to the game, get over to Game Time. Buy tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. Game Time, fastest, easiest way to buy all tickets, sports, comedy, theater near you. Killer last-minute deals, lowest price guaranteed. Stop stressing about the ticket prices and get hyped for all the fun. Flash deals last minute, buy every ticket, images of your seats, lowest price guaranteed, and event cancellation protection. Can't beat that, man. And you know, it's great too that you give you images of your seats so you're not behind a pole with an obstructed view. Nobody wants that fucking deal. You know exactly where you're going. Buy the tickets, get in a matter of seconds, 2 taps, and you're set. Tickets to your phone. You don't have to dig through your spam, all that junk email you got going on. It's election season. Everybody's trying to get your vote, so you don't even check your email. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use a promo code CFBX, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CFBX, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Lowest price, last minute tickets guaranteed. And we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy because we are playing alongside with your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going simply 5 for 5. And from now until October the 4th, Underdog is matching up to 100% deposits up to $500. You can't beat that deal. October the 4th, that's 1 week from today, so get down over there. $100,000 Sundays continue with Underdog Fantasy. Total of $2 million prizes, $100,000 each week, $10K to 10 people this week. New sweepstakes every NFL season. Troy, where are we going for our prop here in the Big 12 this week? Still sticking with Dillon Gabriel against the Cyclones?
I mean, they've got that game at 20 points, and the line for Oklahoma this year has been within half a point, sharp the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I think that the 20-point line might once again be sharp, even if it's an 18 or 19-point game. It just seems so easy. They get down there inside the 3 to 5 line, and nobody pays attention to Dillon Gabriel keeping the ball on a zone read. Every week but one, he's got a rushing TD, and just throwing that in there to a parlay gives you, an extra plus 3 or 4 to 1 odds added on it. It's been working, and sticking with it, baby.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You heard Troy. Get over there, bet those Dillon Gabriel props. Watch along, make your picks, and maybe get a little bit of cash over on Underdog's mobile app website. UnderdogFantasy.com. When you use the sign-up code, promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And we're back on the Big 12 College Experience talking Baylor Bears going down to the bounce house. I don't think we're going to get John Rice Plumlee. I struggle with this game too. Probably going to lay it, man. I'm out on this Baylor team. Shapen did participate in drills practice this week, but man, I'm not in on this Baylor team right now. They have not covered a game since I guess they technically covered Utah. UCF at the backup quarterback position. I thought they were all right the other day. Didn't you?
Yeah, they
put up 30 points in Manhattan.
It's still going to be Malzahn's like ultra fast, make it easy for the quarterback to make a couple of auto reads, or then maybe just tuck it and go forward. So, I mean, you're not going to get the special plays that Plumlee makes, but I have a note right here that says, do not worry about Shapen. It was very clear in the beginning of the season that the team kind of gave up on the fact that Shapen didn't really make any steps forward, and they were kind of stuck with him at QB. Yeah. And, they haven't responded to anything, and they've just been dog shit. Malzahn's a great coach. I don't think Aranda's a great coach by any means, and especially with this group of talent. I mean, I'm laying the points. I think the bounce house will get them rolling even there at the end of the game if they get an extra TD or something to make it a 14-point game. I think UCF could win this game by 3 touchdowns, though.
I don't disagree. And to put in Timmy McClain, quarterback for UCF, got the nod last week. They still put up basically 400 yards of offense, and this is kind of a Super Bowl for them. They've been waiting forever for this first Big 12 game. I think they're going to run it up too if they get ahead. Run the Bears right out of the field with that summer heat down there at the bounce house in Florida. I'm laying the points as well with the UCF. Very, very shiny Golden Knights. So Timmy McClain gets it done. Gus Malzahn. Rush is actually on Baylor. And Elizabeth Warren, as you said, is on the bounce house. Bouncing down there. There we go. I
can't believe Rush is sticking to his already glued and bottled horse.
Yeah, don't listen to Rush on Baylor.
He thinks Elmer's paint bucket is going down to the bounce house. I don't know about all that. I mean, I'm sure the kids down there might sniff it, but
I'm with you, man. They're gonna win by 3 touchdowns. Lay it with the UCF very, very shiny Golden Knights, Central Florida. I know you fans love it. I love the bounce house. Next up on the dock, Cyclone Nation going to Norman. Boomer Sooner. Sooners laying 20, coming off a solid win on the road at Cincinnati. Over under 48.5. Low total for a 20-point line. I already told you I'm taking the points here, man. I'm always taking the points with Matt Campbell against Oklahoma. I know he doesn't have the horses like he did with Brock Purdy and Breece Hall, but, I mean, he beat him in 2017 too when Baker and those guys were there. His team was not that good either that year. I think they're getting better and better with Rocco Becht. Give me the points. I think this is a one-possession game. I think Oklahoma's going to be in a scare here with Texas on deck. And that game I was talking about with Baker Mayfield, that game came down the wire. I think Iowa State's quietly getting better now that they're healthy. I'll take the points.
I think Iowa State and Cincinnati are pretty similar right now in the fact that Rocco Becht is only going to have issues when the field gets shorter and they get down inside of that red zone, but he can move the ball pretty well. The fact that this one's in Norman is the only reason why I would see this line inflated above like 14.5, where it's been the last couple of weeks for Oklahoma. I think this is a 2-touchdown game, but again, by no means is that anywhere near a blowout. And the last touchdown might be, some ice TD with 4 or 5 minutes left. But Dylan Gabriel is way too good of a college quarterback and has been playing forever in college. I think Oklahoma gets this done, but I am going to take the 20 points with Iowa State as well.
So you're on the points. Rush is actually, I believe, laying the points with Oklahoma. I was surprised to see that. Cyclone, man, Campbell always plays them tough, like you said. They're going to get their best punch in. I mean, do you think it's a look ahead? There's some hype around that Oklahoma-Texas final Red River shootout in the Big 12 before SEC play.
I think it might be a bit of a head for both teams, but I also think that the SEC might have their hand in this. Like, you look at how easy Oklahoma's schedule is.
It's rigged.
It could be a setup to get, they're okay with the Big 12 putting their marquee game as next year and every year after that's big SEC matchup. It just seems Oklahoma just seems like they're a better team than everybody expected them to be. And not by much, but just enough to where that offense can carry them a little bit more.
We shall see. If you think the Cyclones are going to shock the world, plus 800 on the money line, I'll sprinkle. Let's go. Why not? I mean, you can't pass that up. Oklahoma always shits themselves one time in September. Give me the Cyclones. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line. All right, let's see what Kennedy or Elizabeth Warren's saying tonight. Oh, that was a bad flip. Noonan. Tails. He's going with the Sooners. Wait, no.
Kennedy.
Yeah. Tails is home.
Home.
Yep. So UCF, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma for the coin. All right, let's dive into the next game. I'm glad we don't have 14 games and all these FCS and FBS games, man. Let's go to Fort Worth. What if I told you the TCU Horned Frogs have won 3 straight since that Colorado debacle in week number 1? And here come the West Virginia Mount to fucking ears, baby. Coming in as 12.5-point dogs. Get the fuck out of here with this number again, just like last week.
I mean,
same
on Tuesday,
concept.
we were talking about how almost every game is like a 3 to 6 point game between these two teams, regardless of where it's located. And West Virginia plays pretty well down in Fort Worth. So
Yes.
this one seems, out of all the bets this week, this one seems like a 12.5 points in West Virginia's favor, and probably another forced slugfest. And you saw how well Colorado ran the ball against TCU. This should definitely be a game that gets slowed down. I don't know if West Virginia wins it outright, but it's not going to be 12.5 points. TCU is not going to win this game by 13 points.
No, I'm with you, man. This is a preseason line again. They think this team sucks. I know Garrett Greene questionable on Saturday. Would love to see him play because he's a vet. But, I mean, West Virginia went to Penn State. And you actually watch that game. That game was a 1 to 2 possession game for about 50 minutes of that game. And, I mean, Penn State's as good as they come. TCU is nowhere near Penn State. They don't have an atmosphere like Penn State. This game's going to come down the wire, like you said. This game, back and forth. If you want the Mountaineers plus 370 on the money line with me, get in. West Virginia's going to shock the world Saturday night. Let's go.
I think C.J. Donaldson should have a pretty dang big game with how well Colorado moved on the ground. Yes. I mean, they're not going to be able to get as much done in the air, but I trust that West Virginia offensive line more than Colorado's, especially if they know that the downhill game starts working. Man, they could really slow it down and quiet down an already wine and cheesy Fort Worth.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. It's a wine and cheese crowd. And if West Virginia can control the line of scrimmage in Penn State and move those big defensive linemen, they're going to be able to move the TCU guys. And the other thing, this is by far the best defense that TCU's faced. Colorado's defense sucked ass. SMU's defense not very good. Houston, up and down. I mean, Dana's not a defensive guy. West Virginia's defense is good. You watch the Texas Tech game, the Pitt game. That's who won them the game. I mean, they grounded it out with the offensive line. TCU fans called me crazy in the summer when I said the Mountaineers are going to go in there and get a win. I'm not budging. Let's go. Mountaineers plus 370 on the money line. They're going to get this thing done. Rush is on the Mountaineers. Where's Kennedy going? He does not like Dallas, so he may come with us. I dropped it. I got it. Tails, TCU.
Oh, no.
Fuck you, Kennedy. That's why you got shot there. Just
the
kidding.
1 week that he would have gone undefeated, he didn't side with West Virginia either.
I know. He went 9-1 and he faded the Mountaineers. That's what you get, Kennedy. All right, we'll move along. On the other side of this ad read, because we got to talk about VSiN, because we're brought to you by VSiN. Sign up now, 40% off football season special. And when you use the promo code SGP, VSiN.com/subscribe, promo code SGP. Sean and Ryan are going to be in a contest where most subscriptions win. And, I mean, who else is doing this where you can get $1,000 of Super Bowl future? Best part is Sean and Ryan are going out, and they're going to cut the prize if you win. Step 1, go to VSiN.com/subscribe, promo code SGP, sign up. Step 2, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/VSiN to submit your proof of purchase. And, of course, if you win, you'll be able to vote on what team you want to place that $1,000 Super Bowl future on. And if it hits, an equal piece of the action will go your way. Sign up now, VSiN.com/subscribe, promo code SGP, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/VSiN to submit. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter in the NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets. Sports betting, analytics, parlay, player props with game lines, research, NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer. Historical stats and data. Enter any parlay into the Hall of Fame Bets Revolutionary Parlay Optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down as expected parlay. By hit rate by value, simply getting the best value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users by researching Hall of Fame Bets to craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the halloffamebets.com, HOFbets.com. Use promo code SGPN. 50% off your first month today. Start researching winning with the Hall of Fame Bets. And we're back on the Big 12 College Experience. Moving along with the slate. We got 2 more games to go. And we talked about this one last night, too. Houston going to Texas Tech revenge game for Donovan Smith, who was benched last year in Lubbock. They probably wish they had him now. I mean, now that they got injuries at the quarterback position with Shuck, Morton's in now. Maybe they still wish they had a little Alan Bowman. I don't know what they got. Wish they had in Lubbock. Houston is an 8.5-point dog over under 51. This number's coming down because of injuries for the Red Raiders, Troy.
Yeah, and to go from 10 to 8.5 kind of makes sense for a quarterback injury. And, Morton might even be banged up too. I think this one is not a thinker. This is a take the points with a banged up quarterback, and Houston's kind of used to playing in a couple of these slugfests with lower skilled guys or backup QBs. I mean, I'm taking the points even at 8.5. I think this could be a Dana special almost on the money line.
And of course, anybody that knows the history of Dana Holgorsen, he coached at Texas Tech during the Leach era. They're plus 260 on the money line. I think it's a personal game for him. I'm with you. Take the points, and you might want to sprinkle on that money line. This game's going to come down to the wire. Lower scoring game, I'm with you. Game script. Rush is on Houston as well. So 3 in a row, and Kennedy's on. Kennedy is on the Red Raiders.
Oh, man, he doesn't think their season is over? I think their season is over.
He's going on a lot of islands. All right, let's talk Kansas Jayhawks. Game of the week, Big 12. We previewed this yesterday. We dove into this matchup with Andy Mitz from the Rock Chalk podcast. Great guy. Get over there, follow those guys. Texas is laying 16.5. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It's way too much, right?
Disrespectful.
That's significantly too much.
Yeah.
This is like a 41-35 game, I think. Neither of these teams are very typical for the modern thought of what these schools have been here for the last 5 to 7 years. They're both really, really good football teams. And playing at home seems to be a big help to Quinn Ewers. So this is one where it seems pretty easy to take the points in Kansas. I think it's a touchdown game. And the only thing that scares me away from the money line here is that these seem to be the games that Texas actually gets up for. I know Red River is next week, but Texas has never had a problem with the ranked matchups. They've always had a problem with the teams that aren't expected to be as great, like in previous Kansas years. I think they get up for this one. I think they barely get it done, but give me those points. I mean, 16.5 is just too many points.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the history of this matchup. Kansas got it done in 2021 in Austin. 2019, they lost on a 2-point conversion. So they were 30.5-point dogs when they won that 2 years ago. Almost won as 20.5-point dogs. I'm with you, man. Take the fucking points. Sprinkle some on the freaking money line because this game's going to come down the wire. Kansas is going to come to play. People are sleeping on Kansas. And Texas has not been good the week before Red River. So I'm on the points. Rush is on the points. Kennedy, where are you going to go? I keep dropping the coin. Heads. So all on Kansas.
All on Kansas.
There we go. Rock chalk, baby.
This seems like one of the easier bets of the week. I mean, just way too many points in Texas's favor. They
haven't looked the same since Alabama. I know Baylor, they technically pulled away at 38-6, but if you look, they gave 400 yards of offense to a team that can't move the ball at all. I mean, that offense sucks. And then Wyoming almost beat them with the backup quarterback.
And, Jalon Daniels is on par with dudes like Cam Ward.
By far the best quarterback Texas will play.
Yeah,
Jalen Milroe sucks.
This could be a real shock to some Texas fans, especially if Quinn Ewers does make a few mistakes or does get in his own head, or it ends up, if they try to make it a boat race or a score off. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm definitely siding with Jalen. The rest of the athletes on the Texas team are pretty good. They're pretty good up in the trenches. I know Kansas probably has just as fast of a defense. So that could be something that plays into this. But I wouldn't put too much on the money line, maybe a little bit of a sprinkle, but I would probably take the points with a pretty significant amount.
Save it for your money line parlay. That's what you save the money line for. So, and we touched on it with Andy yesterday. Like you said, this Kansas defense is way better. Fastest team that Texas will face. I mean, people don't realize how good Jalon Daniels is. Texas fans should, but I bet you Texas fans don't even remember when Jalon Daniels went in there as a freshman and beat their ass in Austin, 52-51 or whatever the score was. So,
they've
that's
got
just saying Jalon Daniels.
memory, so.
Oh, yeah. No, that year didn't happen. Year one of Steve Sarkisian, 4-8 or whatever the fuck they won, 5-7. All right, man. Let's get into our lock, dog, and tease, and I'll lead it off with my lock. I am going to lock up. I'm gonna lock up Kansas, man.
Yeah.
Give me that.
I was
plus
thinking about it.
Half.
I was thinking about it. I mean, just so many points, but
disrespectful.
Kind of the thing plays here, 8.5. And if you were lucky to get in on our bit of a preview on Tuesday when it was 10 points, but Dana in a personal game, that's got to be pretty close to a lock here.
I that was my second candidate. Them in West Virginia. I mean, we'll stay tuned. That might be the Moneyline Round Robin. Rush went for his lock. BYU. He's diving into the stink. So plus 2.5 for BYU for Rush. For my dog, Mountaineers, man. Plus 370 on the money line. Let's do it again. Let's shock the world again. Everybody's fucking shitting on us. Disrespectful lines. Mountaineers get it done in Fort Worth once again, 3 times in a row down there at the Wine and Cheese crowd, Fort Worth. Troy, where are you going for your dog? If fucking Colorado can win there, so can West Virginia.
Home dog for BYU in Provo with the guys being gassed at the game and the you're gonna give a 5-point flip for me to pick a home dog in Provo. I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna think about it too much. So BYU is the dog, baby.
Yep, and Rush is on West Virginia as his dog as well, plus 360 on the money line. Troy's on BYU plus 125. Get over there, get it now, baby. Tease. Let's tease some games here. Well, definitely gonna tease BYU up to 8.5. It's an easy one. I'm going to tease West Virginia.
West Virginia Oklahoma the other way.
Yeah. What, to 14?
Yeah.
I'm going to tease Houston to 14.5.
Yeah.
I like that. And then so I got BYU.
And tease Kansas to 22.
And then UCF down to 5.5. So they got to win by touchdown. So I'm on BYU plus 8.5, UCF minus 5.5, and Houston plus 14.5 for my tease.
We could do, I guess, another pretty good candidate would be teasing Oklahoma to 14, especially because I think that it's a 2-touchdown game. But the UCF tease is too good to be able to get that at what?
5.5.
Yeah, under a touchdown without the extra point. Yeah, that one seems like a very, very easy tease. And then let's go. I guess we
isn't a bad one either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of want to tease Kansas. What would you get it at? 22 or something like that?
Yeah, so you go over 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
Let me get that, baby. This is no way is Texas winning that game by 3 touchdowns.
No, they're coming off the big Baylor win. Everybody's telling them how good they are. They got fucking Oklahoma on deck. It's gonna be a game. I'm with you. Rush is teasing BYU up to 8.5. Kansas up to 22.5, and Houston up to 14.5. Good teaser. So we kind of all agreed on it. Moneyline Round Robin. Rush nominated Kansas, Houston, West Virginia. I think we all kind of agree on that.
The one we roll with, right?
Yep. Let's plug this fucking thing in. So
Kansas,
we are going to
Houston, West Virginia.
We're going to take – who's up first? There are 3:30 games, so we plug this in over at DraftKings, proud sponsor of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Kansas plus 575 on the money line. We're going Houston plus 260. We're going the Mountaineers in prime time. Oh, this one's going to be juicy, man. Woo!
This one's going to be big.
113-1.
Ooh. This
So
one's going to be big.
I was going to say, if you put just $10 on it, for example, to win $1,100, if you got a free $20 bet over $2,000, so you guys do the math. Put a pizza bet on that. Put a cold beer on that one, man. Let's go.
It's worth a beer for sure.
All right, man. Well, that will do it. Like I said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know this is pre-recorded the night before, so stay tuned on that BYU Cincinnati line. I'm flying to Vegas tomorrow, so I'm going to be betting on the Cougs. I'm going to get in on this 113-1 Moneyline Round Robin. Yeah, I hit that. You might not see me. I might be dead somewhere in a ditch in Vegas. So rich and drunk. So, Troy, any last thoughts before we get out of here, man? Another good weekend of football coming up. I
think this weekend could be the one where we have to start giving Neil Brown his flowers. Ooh. This could be the one where the climb starts to become real. I mean, if nobody else wants to play that style and going to give you the niche that fits your team makeup perfectly, go ground and pound and bang out these fucking Big 12 teams and let's get Neil Brown an extension, baby. We were talking it before the year. Let's get Neil Brown an extension. 10 years, $90 million. Let's go, baby.
Real quick before we get out of here, we gave out our power rankings. What's the headline? Big headline Monday morning in the Big 12.
I think the big headline
Neil Brown.
I think the big headline is either Jalon Daniels is way better than Quinn Ewers, which is something most of us kind of know if you've been paying attention to this league for a little bit longer.
Yep.
But I think the big headline might be Neil Brown. I mean, they start off the league undefeated. It's like, holy crap, what's going on down here? Especially if it's a game where Greene can't even if he plays, a set number of plays, he gets in the game for 20 snaps or something like that. If he's able to start undefeated in the league with a backup quarterback, man, things could be looking up there. Meth usage is going to be skyrocketing
into a bye week too. I'm with you. I think you're either. I mean, the obvious one people are probably going to say is Red River. We're going to talk about that next week. That'll probably be the game of the week. I mean, 99% sure that's going to be the game of the week. Working on a guest for that one, maybe an old Big 12 guy to talk about the history, tradition of the Big 12. But I think if you go off the board, I think it could be, where the hell did these Mountaineers come from? Why did nobody see this coming but the Big 12 college experience, potentially, that they were just going to run the ball down everybody's fucking throat and play old school football? So I think that could be a headline. And then the other one, man, if Kansas can somehow pull this off, Jalon Daniels is going to be in the Heisman Trophy race on Monday.
Well, I mean, if they beat Texas, you got to assume that Jalon probably throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns and maybe even runs for another one or something like that. Yeah, it would be the ultimate hype and awakening to the rest of the country that the best quarterback plays for fucking Kansas.
Yep. Or maybe it's Brett Venables let us down again in Norman. I mean, if he lays an egg against Iowa State, my God, they're going to hang his ass if he loses that game.
Right before Texas. That would be very, I mean, if it works out really weird where they both lose and Texas is coming into the Red River shootout again, but after a loss, then that kind of takes away the whole revenge factor. They're both going to be fucking pissed off, but
I know.
Man, it just seems like they're setting it up for that undefeated Red River and the hype around it. Kind of seems to be the times that Oklahoma does lay an egg.
Yes. And, I got to give out my fuck you SEC parlay. I'm going to give that out every week just because I know they're going to both be heavy favorites every week. If you parlay Iowa State and Kansas on Saturday, 60-1. Let's go. Let's go Cyclones. Let's go Jayhawks. Shock the world, baby. Cincinnati and Baylor did not come through for us. All we got to do is hit one of these, and it's a profitable season. in terms of our Big 12.
What's the
SEC
odds?
parlay.
What's the odds on the double Coug parlay? Like if you go BYU and Houston.
Oh, that's a good one. I kind of like that too.
Double Cougars.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I actually really like that one. So we got the Cougars of Dana Holgorsen plus 260 on the money line, punching it in with the Friday Night Lights. BYU now plus 100 on the money line. 6-1. Nice little juice there. I like that.
Right,
that's
only
got a
2
shot.
games.
You get in with the win on Friday night and out in Provo, and then you tuck right in for that afternoon game. Personal game for Dana. I'll get in on that with you. So we got a Coug parlay. We got the fuck you SEC parlay that happens every week. You got to play the numbers. It's going to hit one time this year. And since it's going to be 40-1, it's going to win. So, and then of course we got our Moneyline Round Robin, which was 113-1 of the Mountaineers, the Houston Cougars, and Kansas Jayhawks. So a little bit of a fuck you SEC parlay. The Cougar parlay, and then of course you got to throw the Mountaineers. Mountaineers are the moneymaker so far this year on the show. Mountaineers have been the best team betting for us on this show, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and especially if they're able to get another win, and you're sitting looking at 4 wins with a 4.5 total at the end.
Yeah,
of the
where's
year.
that 4.5 win total, motherfuckers?
That's
yeah, I mean, shit. If
they
James
should cash
Franklin
that for us already.
If James Franklin wasn't betting on the games, we'd be 4-0 against the spread.
They look like a team that has finally figured out their identity, and that could be scary. Big 12, where we've seen quarterbacks get banged up and teams don't really know what to do when that occurs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And then next Friday, we got K-State, Oklahoma State. Both teams coming off a bye. Our guy, man, he's got to find himself a little bit. He's gonna reflect. He's got to get back to his roots.
Yeah, he's got to
back to the roots.
He's got to go to the gun range or something like that and take out some stress.
He's got to have to take out some fucking these bad players he's got on his team. They fucking suck. So making me look like a jackass with my 40-1 Cowboys. It's not over yet. See what Gundy does. He's a man. He's 40. Troy, let's get out of here though. Tell everybody where to find you, what you got going on.
Just find me on the XB at Troy Chewning, just the full name, TroyChewning. The Nat season is over, so now you'll have to catch me at Caps games. We do like to go to about 30 or 35 of those a year. Man, there's nothing quite like outdoor baseball, but when you get to the end of the year and it's fucking raining just enough to be annoying, but not enough for them to put the tarp on the field, and you're expected to sit out there and watch baseball and your team sucks, not that great. But, if the Nats lose out, I had a exact season total on 69 wins for the Nats for obvious reasons. But if they lose out here, they'll be right at 69.
Get in on the action this weekend. Go find Troy at the Caps and Nats game. Nats next season since they're done with the homestand. You can find me at Moneyline_Mac. Hey, get over there. Check out the college football experience. They will go live every Wednesday night. Well, they go live every day. Pick Dundee, whether it's Bottom Line Bombs with CJ Sullivan, or the Wednesday night pick show with NC Nick and Patty C. Entertaining show, good picks, always just a good time. And then also go check out the FCS college experience. And hey, man, we're going to be here. Big 12's coming. Big 12 basketball's coming. Schedule just got released yesterday. We probably need to do a special edition episode maybe next week or the following week. We're gonna start up with these college basketball previews on the Big 12 college experience here soon, because November 6th will be here before we know it. And this is the best damn league in the land. I mean, we like football, but we know where our bread and butter is, basketball. So go check out the college basketball experience with Colby and I every single night. It's going to be a fun season, and it's going to be a fun weekend, man.
That tier ranking, when we do preseason power rankings, that top tier in the Big 12 is going to be 7 teams.
League's tier 1.
8 teams, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's why it's a gauntlet. So good luck, everybody, with your bets, and let's make some money, and don't forget to let it ride. Go Mountaineers.